Breaking tonight, parents in a well-heeled small Connecticut town are outraged after the school district banned them from visiting their children at school during lunch. One mother even going so far as to say that the ban is a punch in the gut because apparently these parents really need to see their kids in the middle of the day. And they really need to bring them a hot lunch or, as one parent put it, just open their milk carton. Come on! Get a grip, right? We're raising a bunch of kids who can't do anything for themselves, and we wonder why. Here with me right now, author of Your Kids Are Your Own Fault, that's a heck of a title, Larry Winget, as well as acclaimed author Sarah Goff, a mother of two who once lived in the small Connecticut town under fire tonight. And Sarah, you saw it yourself?
I spent a year in this town, and it was, I felt bad because I didn't go into lunch, and I just didn't agree with going in and being a part of my son's lunchtime. So, but I can understand. These days, we're seeing a lot of dangers on social media, and we witness accidents on YouTube, and it makes us cling to our kids more.
Right, and so you want to make sure that you're there to kind of protect them and help them along the way. But, I bet Larry would say you did the right thing not going in, only because, at what point, at some point, your kids have to be able to stand on their own 2 feet, right?
Exactly. And, a cafeteria is a safe place. They're supervised. It's a great place to make mistakes and learn. And, okay, so he spills his milk or drops his tray or can't find somebody to sit with and sits alone, and that breaks your heart to think of.
But wouldn't it be kind of worse if, he's there just sitting with his mom? Because he doesn't have any... Larry, what do you think? Did Sarah make the right choice here?
Oh, she absolutely made the right choice. You see, I believe these kids who get used to mom and daddy showing up every day for lunch will eventually become those young adults who take mom and daddy with them on job interviews. And I think that's just a darn shame. I believe that we should teach our kids that their school time is like their job. They go there on their own to learn to be productive, to earn their results, to interact with their peers, their different personalities and emotions, and all of those things have to be done on their own. Kids ultimately want from us their own independence. That's why at some point they shake loose and let go of our hands and want to do things on their own. That's what they're looking for.
But that's hard for some parents, right? And Sarah's a mom of two, I'm a mom of three, and it's sometimes it's a little hard, yet that's what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to raise an independent human being that, can forge his or her own way in the world.
Right. Yeah. I would tell myself this. It's better that my son learns how to handle failure now at a young age than wait till he's 18 and then figure it out on his own, and the stakes are much higher. So,
but you're in the minority, and especially in that town, by the way, you're a minority because, these parents are so upset. They're saying this isn't right. We pay all these taxes in this town. We ought to be able to go and bring our kids hot lunch and sit with them at the lunch table and hang out with their friends and see who their friends are and make sure the teachers know that we care. But Larry, there comes a point in time, right, where, you have to have some faith in the system and some trust. And if you're not willing to do that, then is your child ultimately at a big disadvantage?
Well, of course they are. And we need to remember that the ultimate goal of parenting is for your kids to grow up and go away, to be independent, to learn how to take care of themselves so you don't have to. And you need to love your kids enough to allow that. We also should love ourselves enough as parents to give them some time away from us.
It's hard, though, because you want to be there, right?
You do. You want to protect them, and you think you could do everything better, and you can. But they need to figure it out. They need to become comfortable with feeling shy or embarrassed or overwhelmed.
My son said to me the other day, Jamie, and he's 6 years old, he said, Mommy, when I finish school and I'm looking for a job, would it be okay if I stayed at home for a little while I looked for my job? I thought, oh my gosh, he's planning for the future already. I'm like, yeah, maybe like a week tops, kid, right?
Yeah.
Because at some point, you know, I'm glad that he recognizes, even at 6 years old, he recognizes that at some point he's going to have to be out in the world on his own. The girls somehow naturally get that.
Yeah.
My son, on the other hand.
Well, you know, if I could just take a moment also to say something, Trish, and that is, I see how much of your heart you give to your kids, your 3 kids, and I see how much of your heart you give to this show and to your career, and it's well, I think it's not easy.
No.
It pulls you in 2 different directions, and I also know that women out there can relate, and they know that feeling where it never feels like it's enough, and you can't be everywhere you want to be.
Look, I mean, I wouldn't be able to be, I mean, maybe now more so, but, you know, given my career path, I wouldn't be able even to be one of those moms in the lunchroom, even if I wanted to be, because I'm working. And I appreciate you saying it, Sarah. I mean, it's hard, I think, for any woman who's trying to balance all those things as we do, right? That's just the reality of it. Larry, no guilt on your end. You're not allowed any. That's all from me and Sarah. Anyway, so good to see you both. Larry and Sarah Goff, thank you so much. That does it tonight for Trish Regan Prime Time. We're going to be right back here with you tomorrow night. We got a big show in store. Good night, everyone. From the financial capital of the world, Kennedy begins right now.